Hello and welcome to my channel Crafting with Shuttermonkey. I'm Amanda, also known as Shuttermonkey, and I live in Ayrshire on the west coast of Scotland. Today is Tuesday the 12th of December and this is the very first episode of Vlogmas 2023. Now, I know it's a bit late to be putting up a Vlogmas episode, but I haven't been very well over the past couple of weeks. And I'm still really excited to show you my advent calendars and what I was planning on making over Advent season, even though we are halfway through the season. You can maybe hear by my voice that I'm still a wee bit hoarse. I caught a really nasty bug that's going about just now. It's kind of flu-like symptoms and a really, really bad cough. Getting over the worst of it now, still a wee bit tired and got a bit of allergy. But I'm really, really excited to show you the Advent projects that I've been working on. One of the good things about being ill and not being able to do much else, you get plenty of time to sit and knit and crochet, don't you? So I'm going to show you my Advent calendars that I've got. And I have 4 of those, 4 different calendars, and I'm only using 2 of them as we work through Advent season. And I had another 2 projects planned as well. One of them I have got started. And the second one, it's not started yet, but I'm really hoping to get started in the next couple of days. So the first one I'm going to show you is the Beehive Yarns Advent Calendar. So I don't even have to say look away, because if you've not seen this, because you've probably seen most of them, and Beth has been sharing it daily on her Instagram feed as well. She's a day behind, but by the time you see this, I'll be a day behind as well, because I won't publish it until tomorrow. So I've actually just put all my little packages into this box. This didn't come with the calendar. I found this in TK Maxx and I just loved it. I do love nutcrackers at this time of year. So I'll pop it open and let you have a wee look inside. And it's the Patisserie Advent Calendar by Beth from Beehive Yarns. And there's another wee card in here as well. And this has got all the colours in the back. So I don't know if you can pause and maybe take a wee screenshot and you can see the colourway names. And this is the 12 packages that I have left to open. They all came wrapped up in little pink packages. One of my favourite colours. So this is tomorrow's package, but I'm not going to open it just now. I will leave that until tomorrow. And I'm just going to pop all this back in here and my little patisserie card so I know where it all is tomorrow morning. And this is the 12 that I've opened so far. I really, really like this. So it started at this end over here. And then we worked along from the greens into the pinks. And then along here into the purples. There's a slight, that one's kind of blue. I think this might have been one of the blueberry ones. But we're only halfway through. And look how pretty that looks already. This has filled me with so much joy opening this one. I always say that with Beth's calendars, with her countdown calendars, her advent calendars. I just love them. So really, really pleased with that. And one of the nice things about it is nobody else has got one of these calendars. Well, nobody that I watch on Vlogmas, because I've been watching over the past 10 days, I've been watching a lot of Vlogmas episodes. And I love watching other people opening their advent calendars and seeing what's inside all their packages. But I've not seen anybody else opening this one, which I'm really surprised at, because usually you see a couple of people opening the same advent calendars as you have. Now, as well as the mini skeins, the 24 mini skeins, there was a couple of little extras in the package as well. We had this little, it's a wee stitch marker tub, and it's a macaroon. I'm going to try and open this without spilling it everywhere. And inside, we have got some little stitch markers. And these ones, I'll just take one out, see if I can hold it up to show you. They are just little star-shaped stitch markers, little gold coloured stitch markers. That was one of the wee extras we had, and I opened that on the first day. But it's so cute, isn't it? A little macaroon with a patisserie theme. And we also had a bag as well. Normally when Beth does our countdown boxes, you get a nice themed box with it. I think a couple of the advent calendars has been a nice box, but this time we got a bag. And it is a little tote bag, which I think is really, really cute. And I think I'll probably get more use out of a bag than I will another cardboard box. Although I have to admit, I am a sucker for a nice cardboard box. Right, let me just pop this out the way. And the only other thing that I've got that came with that box, apart from the other 12 mini skeins, is the full skein for Christmas Day. And obviously I've not opened that yet because we are only halfway through Advent season. But I wonder what colour it'll be. So that was the first Advent calendar that I bought. And the second one is also by Beth at Beehive Yarns. And it was our weekly Advent. So there's one full-size skein to open each Sunday of Advent. So we've already opened 2 of them. So this one here is the first one. I opened this on the first Sunday. Was that the 3rd? And this one is called Pavlova. Now these colourways are supposed to tie in with the mini skeins as well. So if you bought the 24 mini skeins and you bought the four weekly skeins, they would all tie in together. Or you could buy just the skein for Christmas Day and these ones, and it didn't matter what combination you bought, they would all work together. So this was week 1, and that was Pavlova. And this one is week 2. Now this does form a fade, and it's just lovely so far, isn't it? Wonder if I hold it that side, can you see it better? And this one is called Charlotte Russe. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And we still have another 2 skeins to go. So I'm quite excited about opening those as well. The very first one, I was opening my advent calendars on the day you're supposed to open them, and then I forgot about this one. We got to the first Sunday and I forgot all about that, and I had sat down with my knitting and I'd get something on the telly, got some Vlogmas episodes onto the TV, and then the cat crawled up on my lap and she fell asleep, and that's when I remembered that I still had this to open, and I didn't want to get back up until the cat got up, because I don't like to disturb her when she falls asleep. If she's nice and comfortable on my lap sleeping, I don't tend to disturb her, so I was sitting there patiently waiting for the cat to wake up so I could go get my full skein to open it. It was worth the wait, wasn't it? So I'm looking forward to opening those next 2 of those. And in with the weekly advent skein, we also had a couple of little surprises as well. So we had, this is needle stoppers. You put them onto the end of your needles so your stitches don't all fall off. But again, the little macaroons. And with this weekly advent, we get another little bag as well. And this time it's a wee drawstring bag. But they'll go really nicely together, won't they? So that is my 2 Yarnly Advents so far. Well, I'm not saying Yarnly Advents, 2 of them. They're all Yarnly Advents, so I'll hold them all up and let you see them together. So that's how it's looking so far. Oh, I just love those. Just before Advent season started, I actually purchased the new jumper pattern, the new sweater pattern from Amy of Dashwood Studios. And I think this might actually work quite well with it. I wonder if I've got a copy of the pattern here. It is the Wellsbury sweater. Now, this is held, it's fingering weight yarn with a strand of mohair or Surrey alpaca to make it double knitting weight. And I really like it. I think it looks really warm, really cosy. And I purchased that just before Advent season started, hoping that I would be able to use either my mini Skein Advent calendar or the big one. So I think I'm actually going to be spoiled for choice. I think I could use both of them. I think this version here is 3 skeins. I think Amy only had to use 3 skeins for her size. But I think for my size I would need to have 4 skeins, so that would be perfect. Or she also did a second version that used up one of the Dandelion and Dogwood advent calendars. The Dandelion and Dogwood is a hand-dyed yarn company that she runs with her sister. So, and I think I could get away with using my 24 mini skeins as well, held with some Suri alpaca or some mohair. So I do have plans for it, and I'm just can't wait to see what the next 12 little mini skeins look like. The third advent calendar, the third advent package that I bought was another yarny package, and it was to knit the advent socks, and it's the Yarn Badger. That's a real label there, and the colourway is called Deck the Halls, and this is the inspiration for the colours here. If you've got this colourway and you don't want to see how the stripes look away now, because I have actually knitted all 24 stripes on my socks, okay? And maybe you still want a wee bit of surprise, but here we go. This is one of them here. But this one here, I have actually got all 24 stripes on this because I have enough yarn to do 2 pairs of socks. So just take it out of here. I'm going to pop it onto a sock blocker so you can see it as well. I bought 2 mini skeins of yarn, so I will have enough to do 2 pair of socks. So rather than knitting 1 stripe a day, I have actually been knitting 2 stripes a day. And this is how it is looking. Oops, just make sure that doesn't all pop off. And this is how it's looking now if I hold it up next to the little inspiration card. Yeah, it's quite good, isn't it? So this stripe here, this very top, this kind of, it's a kind of pinky red colour. I've got all 24 stripes in that sock, and I have a second sock here as well. That's got all the stripes on it too. And I've only got a tiny little bit of green left. I've got enough there to do both cuffs on this pair of socks because I have used the contrast for the heels and the toes. And I've got enough there for the cuff, but I'm not going to cut this yarn just yet. I am using this, sorry, I'm in a wee bit of a fanco here. I have been knitting from the inside of my cake, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this second little mini skein that I've got, I'm going to cast on my second pair of socks, and I'm going to knit from the outside, and I'm going to see how many stripes are left over, because there's no much point having maybe half a dozen stripes left, and I don't know, maybe one pair of socks could be longer and the other could be shorter, but I thought I would split it evenly between the two. So I'll leave these ones sitting on the needles, and I'll start knitting from the outside. It gets a wee bit complicated because you still have to keep this one attached, but I'd rather do that and use as much yarn as I can. So that is the Deck the Halls colourway, and that is by the Yarn Badger. I'm just going to pop these back in here. Oh, it is 2.25mm needles I am using for this. I'm using my Licca needles, and I've got this, it's just the driftwood set for this first sock, and I've got that in one of my little green DPN Cozies, and this one is on, it's actually blue, just the blue Liccas. So I don't get mixed up, even if I forget to put my socks back into the right DPN Cozy. I know which sock is which, because one's in blue and it's in my Christmas trees, and one's brown and it's in my little gingerbread. These are actually little DPN Cozies that I made myself. They're very straightforward to make, but this was leftovers from fabric that I had from the very first Christmas range from Dashwood Studios, and I love that gingerbread one especially. And I wonder what I could use it as a project, so there was enough there to do a wee DPN Cozy. Right, let me pop this one out the way. And oh, I did bring that one over actually to show you the difference between the two colourways. That's this year's, and that was last year's. Can you see those okay? but what a difference, eh? These are actually mine that I knitted myself from last year, and as you can see, I still haven't woven in my ends. I really need to address that. So many things that I just need to finish off and weave in ends. I've gathered up all the stuff for my final advent calendar, and this one is from Toft. Now, if you follow Emily of Memily Makes on YouTube, I'll put a wee link to her channel below. You may have already seen the contents of this advent calendar. I follow Emily on YouTube and on Instagram, and I still think it's amazing when I see her opening her calendar on YouTube, and I'm like, wow, I've got that, it's so pretty. Inside that bag, there was lots of boxes. Now, there's boxes of different sizes. I've dropped a couple of pieces. There's some little boxes and there's some bigger boxes. Now, the bigger boxes contain yarn. So if you pop the bigger boxes open, where is my ball of yarn? You get yarn inside. We have had 6 balls of yarn so far. I've only opened the 12 boxes. And this is a new colourway to Toft, and it's called Plum. It's really, really pretty, isn't it? And so that's usually what's in those boxes. But as we're working through the calendar, we're actually putting our little pieces back into boxes. Kerry tells us where to put them, what little box to put them into. So this is box number 1, and it's got a few pieces in there for one of my projects. And let me just pick them up off the floor and I can show you. Oh, I should probably say, if you haven't got your calendar up to date and you're trying to avoid spoilers, you should maybe look away now before I start showing you the pieces. Because I know there is someone that I'm watching online, Karen from Stitches and Jack. Not that she's going to be watching me, but you just never know. So here we go. This is one of the little mini dolls, because it's little mini dolls we're making. So there's a wee pair of legs. And there's a little body. Now, we just finished these little legs this morning. So, and they'll pop onto there. And then we have 2 arms. And I just love the little toes on these ones. It's like that dolly, the Statue of Liberty doll that I've been making. The little baubles for the toes and for the claws, I suppose, because I think this is an animal. And then we have 2 little balls here, but I think they're going to become ears. And this is one of the pieces that we made this morning, and I think that's going to be a head. And I think it's going to be the Mouse King. I'm just going to pop all those back in there. And then we have box number 4. We've been putting some body parts back into here. And we have, now, you weren't supposed to stuff anything. Kerry hasn't told us to stuff anything yet. But I've been a wee bit of a smarty pants and just went ahead and stuffed. So this one has been stuffed. And I think this might be the Sugar Plum Fairy. She's got a little beaded part to the top. I think that's going to be the top of her dress. And then we have 2 little legs, which will go onto the bottom of her body. And we have 2 little arms as well, so they'll come out the sides. They're really, really tiny. Trying to hold them all up, it's quite difficult. And every time you make a different piece, Kerry actually emails the pattern out to you at 6 o'clock UK time. Comes out at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you get to open up your email and she tells you open up your box and she tells you you've got the pattern there for that day's piece. But this one is, I think this one's a bit of a giveaway. What the whole theme is. There's quite a few bits in this box. And again, I've went ahead and stuffed it. I hope I don't regret that. Excuse me. So we have a body. Now, this wee bit of yarn here, that's marking something. We were told to put one of the little stitch markers, which I'm going to show you in a moment. But I didn't put my stitch markers in because I'm quite a tight crocheter, and I find when I put the stitch markers in, it leaves a wee hole at either side, so I haven't done that. Mind you, maybe it was going to be his nose, and It'll just look like nostrils anyway, and it would have been fine, the 2 wee holes. So I've just marked it with a wee bit of yarn. So this is his body, and here is his legs. And then he's got little black arms with white bits at the top. And then I'm just going to pop his arms and legs out the way just now. And then we had to make a jacket, a little tunic with some little gold beads on it. They're actually rose gold beads. I haven't woven in any of my ends for this little tunic. I've left them all, that's why it's a bit. And the other thing that I did differently when I did my tunic was I didn't do it in the round. I did it all flat so that I could actually get it onto my wee body. Because I find that because I overstuff my dolls, the clothes don't come on and off very easy. And the other thing that I do as well is I use a 3mm hook when I'm doing the doll bodies, but when I come to doing the clothes, I go up to a 3.5. So that's how he's looking so far, his little tunic. And he's also got, make sure I'm showing you, there we go, a little hat. It's the nutcracker, isn't it? It's got to be. This was yesterday's piece. I didn't do it yesterday. I saw the pattern because there's no pictures in the pattern. But if you wait till maybe late morning, early afternoon, Kerry posts videos to show you how to do it every day's techniques. And when I read through the pattern, I thought, right, I don't know whether this is going to be a hat or whether it's going to be a drum. So I left off and I watched Kerry's video and I thought, still not really sure what it's going to be. But then, so I caught up this morning. I did 2 days this morning. But I think it's going to be a hat because I think if it was a drum, she would have closed up this bottom bit. But it's open here. So that must going to be, maybe stuff it and put it onto his head. But it's really, really pretty, isn't it? Anyway, I'll pop this wee bit away now. Really pleased with how these pieces are coming out. And I'm really surprised that I'm keeping up as well. So the other little boxes that you get with this advent calendar, there's usually little bits and bobs in here. So this one here, this was today's, and it's another little stitch marker. Whoops. You see him okay? A little nutcracker. And one of the days earlier on in the calendar, we had this. They're not actually, Kerry calls them centralisers rather than stitch markers. And this is a little centraliser holder in the rose gold. And that's one of the earlier stitch markers that we got. It's also a little nutcracker, so it kind of gives the theme away. But we weren't really sure what the other stitch markers, which these, because there's 6 on there. There's 6 little holders, and I'm hoping we get a full set of 6. So that's another little nutcracker today, just in slightly different colours. Yeah, he's more plum, and this one's the violet colourway. And what else? This actually, the centraliser, the little holder, it's actually got a ruler on the back for checking your gauge. Now, this one goes to 4 centimetres, is that right? No, 5 centimetres. And we were supposed to check the body piece of one of these. Check that we had the right gauge, and I didn't. Mine was a centimetre off, and I knew it would be, but I'm not changing it. Because I feel like if I change it and I come up a hook size and try and get to match the gauge that Kerry gets, I end up with gaps in my crochet, and you can see the stuffing once I stuff it, and I don't like that. So I'm just going to leave my tight gauge. I'm happy enough with that. And those little boxes as well, a couple of days we've had beads in them. So one day we had the little lavender beads, the violet beads to go with this wee dolly here. And the rose gold beads was in another box. And we have also had a little pin badge. A rose gold pin badge that's for Advent 2023. These are quite highly sought after, these things. There's actually people got these on eBay already. There's also a Toft Addicts group that I am a member of on Facebook, and they have a selling page as well, and people are selling these already. you can actually sell all these wee bits and bobs, the centralisers, I should say, not stitch markers. The centralisers, the centraliser keeper, if you get any pins or patches in them, you can actually sell them all and make the money back for your advent calendar, if you're that way inclined. Right. So that is all my advents. That is all the advents I've got. I've got my Toft one, my Yarn Badger one, and 2 from Beehive Yarns. And it's just a shame I didn't go on like 10 days ago to show you them before I started them, to show you what they all look like. But these things happen, don't they? But there is 2 other advent projects that I wanted to work on over the month of December, and I have got one started. So let me just show you that. No, tell you what, I'm going to leave that one to the end because that's the most exciting. Right, I've just been and gathered up the stuff for one of the projects that I wanted to be working on in the month of December. And it was a quilt. Now I had 2 quilts that I wanted to be doing. And this one is the evergreen quilt. And then this one as well is all the trimmings. These are both from Fat Quarter Shop, and they're both available as a free download. I haven't started mine yet. I haven't even cut out my fabric just because I haven't been very well. But hopefully I'm on the mend now and I can get on with that. I didn't show you in my last podcast episode, only 2 hands, the fabric that I was planning and using. But this is it here. This is all Lewis and Irene fabrics. Make a wish, make a Christmas wish. That one I've actually got 2 lengths of it. So I think I've actually got about 2.5 metres altogether of that one. And there's some Make a Wish, the fairies on white. I've also got the fairies on this beige colour as well. There are some bigger fairies. Another one that's the same. And the bigger fairies on this kind of goldy colour. Bigger fairies again, but this time they're silver fairies. And then we have this one here. This is just gold snowflakes and they're all a metallic print. More of that. And these ones are actually from, it was a nativity scene that they did a few years ago. And I've just got three of them in stars. I might be able to mix those in as well. These aren't metallic, these ones. And then I have one little bit of green. It's from this range here. It's from the Nativity one. And if I can remember what the name is, I'll put it below. But these are all out of print fabrics now. I've had them for a few years. And do you know, I was trying to get rid of them and I couldn't get rid of them. I was trying to sell them on eBay and I couldn't. And I thought, do you know what, you could maybe make some quilt tops. If I don't want them, I'll pass them on to my son or my daughter. They can take them to their own houses. But they probably won't be ready till next Christmas. Good thing about Christmas is it does come round every year, doesn't it? So I had all of those, and as you can see, there was a lot of reds, creams. Oh, I didn't show you that one, did I? That was the last one from the Make-A-Wish range. And it's a nice black with tiny, tiny little speckles and gold stars. And that one is metallic as well. That's going to be the background fabric, I think, for all the trimmings one. I've got just over a metre of that one, so I think that'll work as nice as a background. But there's lots and lots of red, lots and lots of kind of whites and beiges and golds and creams in there. But I didn't have a lot of green, so I did have to buy some greens, especially for that evergreen one, because that's got a lot of green. Now again, I went on to eBay actually and looked for Lewis and Irene Christmas fabric green, and this is what eBay gave me. So that one there, I think that's a newer range. This is one of their newer ranges that's still readily available. And then I also have this one here. These are both got a bit of metallic print on them. And this one, that might be from a slightly older range, this one. And then there's little gnomes, little Christmas gnomes. And this one has got text. It's from the 12 Days of Christmas range. I do remember what the range this one's from. And it's just lots and lots of text and words on it. So I do have quite a good wee selection there now of greens that I can mix and match with the rest of the fabrics and get these 2 quilts done. I really thought when I didn't get started at the beginning of the month, I thought, oh, do you know what, if I have to leave it, maybe I'll leave my fabric cut before I do a video, but I've just not been up to standing and cutting, to be honest. So this one here, I think I'll use that black fabric in the background, that nice metallic black. And what is the other one? It's got a nice, oh, I'll get plenty of this one here. Sorry, get this, look this out, better organised. That one there I'll probably use for the evergreen pattern. And I'll also need to try and figure out ways to make both patterns slightly bigger, because I think they're only about 32 inches in the longest side. But we can worry about that. Got a whole year to worry about that. I've just popped all that fabric out the way. Only one more thing that I want to share with you today, and it's a knitting project. And this is a cardigan that I wanted to knit over Advent season. And it's the Daft cardigan by the Crochet Bear. I am loving working on this. I'm using lots of little mini skeins, but it's not actually an Advent calendar. It was a summer countdown box from Beehive Yarns again. And I bought this back in August in a D-stash on Instagram. Let me just take the lid off. And this is all the colours in here. Now, as you can see, they're not full skeins. I have used each colour once. And I have been using it with Ribbon Pure Wool Superwash DK. And again, I got this on the Wool Warehouse. This colourway is it Moonstone? And the shade number, no, the colourway is 00195. Now, I did tell you about this in my last episode, and I had said I was going to use the cream colourway that I had left over from doing Rebecca's Leith cardigan. But I had 5 balls of it, and it wasn't enough. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to chance it, because I didn't use the volume of yarn that I thought I would use the cream colour in the Leith cardigan. But I was just a wee bit too short, so I bought some grey, and I'm really glad I bought the grey because it just looks lovely. Let me show you how it's looking. It's going to be the Leith cardigan all over again. I'm going to be squealing for weeks, but here we go. Oh wow. And I have done this one the way the pattern tells you to do it. For the Leith cardigan, I split the back and the 2 fronts, and I knitted them separately. I didn't do them all in one go because I was using an Advent calendar. I didn't want to use that Intarsia method and have 4 balls of yarn in the go, because when you're trying to chill in the evening and watch TV, I didn't want the 4 balls of yarn, and I didn't want them getting all tangled. So I split it up and I did the back separate from the 2 fronts. But this time I am doing it all in the one go. It's lovely, isn't it? Now, I think I only have another 2 colour repeats. Going by my tension swatch, I only have to add another 2 colours, another 2 grey stripes and another 2 colours into this. And I can split off, it'll be where the armholes are. I've already used 8 grams, and each little mini skein was only 20 grams, and it is a DK weight. That countdown box was a DK weight countdown box. And I'm just loving it. It is so straightforward to do. It's not a difficult pattern to remember. And it's just really nice. And see, when you're not feeling very well and you're just sitting on the couch watching Vlogmas with your feet up, it is perfect. And especially having these big long rows as well, because sometimes you're really keen to go on to the next colour. But doing it all in the one, I thought, I'm going to get bored with it. Maybe I should split it up. But no. It's been fine. So as I say, I think I've only got another 2 colours and another two repeats of the grey, and then that is me ready to split for the sleeves. And again, I am doing size 5 on this, which is going to be slightly smaller than the pattern says because my tension was a bit off. My gauge was off. I can actually tell you how off it was. Right, wherever it was 21 inches and 33 rows in 4 inches, and I was getting 22 stitches and 37 rows. So I'm only 1 stitch out in 4 inches, But if you're doing like a 48-inch cardigan, that's quite a few stitches. That's about 12 stitches you're out, isn't it? Because if it's 1 every 4 inches and you're doing 48 inches, yep, you're 12 stitches out. So it does change the size ever so slightly. But I have marked it up there. That's just me keeping a wee track of my yarn and what I've used. And I did the same with the Leith cardigan. I kept weighing it after every section. But I've already used, as I say, about 8 grams of each one. So I'm a wee bit worried about that, because if I've only got 2 more repeats, and then I'm going into the upper part of the body, and it'll be less there. So, and I won't use every colour twice. I think I'll have 3 or 4 colours that won't go in. I won't have like 2 repeats. I won't have 28 colour rows. I think there's 3 or 4 that I don't have to put in before I get to the shoulders. And the sleeves aren't going to be a full two colour repeats, if you know what I mean. So if I just try and have the ones that I've not only used once, I could start the sleeve in them and then change back into the blue. And then I'll only need to use those colours, the blues, because I think it's going to be those blues. It'll be those blues down here that I have to use again. I'm working back along that way. I think it'll be these ones here. And if I just, when I get to the sleeves, I'll just make sure that I've only got one stripe of these ones, but maybe I've got 2 of these ones up here that I've only used once. I'll work out somehow. Or if it turns out that I don't have enough yarn, I will just put thicker grey stripes in the sleeves. It's not the end of the world. We will figure that problem out when we get to it. But I'm loving working with this. I am really enjoying knitting up that cardigan. I'm enjoying working on my crochet. I'm enjoying my socks. And I'm really chuffed that we're halfway through Advent season and I've managed to keep up as well, which isn't like me, because I usually always fall behind and see something else that I want to do. So that is all I have to share with you today. And hopefully I'll get back on. I'll get better and I'll be able to stand up and cut some fabric and do some sewing. And next time I see you, I'll maybe have part of a quilt top to show you. I was actually hoping that when I filmed either my first or my second Vlogmas episode, I would have some nice Christmas festive activities to share with you, but as you can imagine, there's not been much happening. I did book tickets for the grandkids to take them to 2 different events. We have been to a farm park to see Santa, and they could go and see the little animals that the farm park had. They were all indoors, they couldn't get outside. There's a big soft play area they could play, and that was really nice. But we did that right at the end of November. Don't really like sharing too many photos or videos of the kids, because I don't think my son and my daughter-in-law would be very happy with that. I would need to ask first. And we've also been to a pantomime, not a proper pantomime. It was the McDougall's Christmas show, and it was on at the Harbour Arts Centre, which was in a local town to where we live. So we've been to that as well, but we weren't allowed to take photos or video during the performance. But I think if you look them up online, they must have an online presence, because they were selling merchandise and stuff like that at the end. But over the 10 days that I wasn't well, we have had to cancel a couple of outings that we had planned. We were planning to go to Edinburgh to the Christmas markets, and we were going to go to Stirling Castle, because it'll be all done up for Christmas. But that's all had to be postponed, actually, not cancelled. Hopefully we'll get to do that before Christmas. So maybe I can share some of that with you, some of the festive things that we're up to, some of the more festive-y, when everything's done up for Christmas and it's all twinkly lights and it's all sparkling. Might be quite nice to share some of that. And that really is all I have to share with you today. So I'm going to go get tidied up in here, because I seem to have made a big mess. And then I'm going to get my feet up, because this might take it out of me. I'll be needing to put my feet up and get a wee cup of tea. Not do too much all in the one day. Okay, so I hope you're all having a lovely festive season, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.